Yo guys, what is going on? It is Jordi returning back here again, and welcome to another episode of Jordi Talks Footy. Today we've got the adopted Martin, we've got Alyssa, and we've got Paul from SFC Fans React.
Come on!
So before I jump into anything, obviously congrats to Paul for the baby as well.
Excellent, thank you.
Congrats to Alyssa for getting into the magazine program.
Thank you.
And Carl for getting the banging streams out.
And for you for doing that fantastic prediction video as well.
Amazing video. Over 300 views. Jordan, you deserve every single one of them, mate.
The amount of times I prayed on that Met Road not to have wind is berserk.
Wow,
and I went down there and still had wind.
There's not much you can do, really. Yeah. There's not much you can do.
It's just been the northeast this week. It's just been
absolutely
dreadful for wind. So, in the league, we'll start off with that. We are 60 points at 4th place. Did Peterborough play today or them not playing? That's the one sure on.
I haven't actually. I haven't one of them lazy days. I said before. I just had fish and chips and a few beers. I haven't really took much notice of what's gone on in the league today. I know you were saying before we went on air that a lot of results have went our way. Have you got the fixtures up there, Carl?
Just loading up the fixtures. I just literally had the table, so but it doesn't look like Peterborough played.
No, they didn't.
Right,
playing on Tuesday.
They're against Portsmouth, aren't they? I'm pretty sure it's Portsmouth on the Tuesday.
Portsmouth.
Oh God,
big game.
I mean, it's a big game, but we'll know where that's going to go after today's match. It's been horrific for Portsmouth, especially with us winning them in the midweek. Right. Yeah. So I think we're about 3 points off the top. So we'll go to Carl first. How do you think the results today have give us the chance to actually go up this season?
Well, the big one, Lincoln City losing, is the big one. That was a must-win for them, and they blew it. Literally blew it. And now we're 1 point behind them, game in hand, which we play on Wednesday against Accrington Stanley. We got a chance to leapfrog Lincoln. It's our season. We're going up.
I mean, the enthusiasm's there. Alyssa, we'll go to you next. How do you think it's going to benefit us?
I think it'll benefit us massively as well. Doncaster, I think they drew 0-0 with Northampton, who seem to be doing actually quite well at the minute. But I know they've got a couple of games on hand on us, and I mean, I think Peterborough and Lincoln, I know those games are coming up for us, and those could be really important in terms of whether we get automatics or finish in the playoffs. I know Lincoln have just had Callum Morton come back. He's on loan from West Brom, I think. And I think the first game he came back, he scored a goal for them. So I don't think, again, we should take them lightly. And I think we still need to have that mentality of just taking one game at a time and not getting too excited. I know it's like easy because we seem to be like on a really good run at the minute. But I think we all need to stay level-headed and just take each game as it comes.
Yeah, I mean, all the games that we've got now, I think we've still got Peterborough, another game for Lincoln. I believe we've still got a one against Hull. It's ones that we need to keep that mentality and that just the results coming. Paul, what do you think?
I think this has just hit the nail on the head. I was going to say we've got to try not get carried away because obviously I'm looking at the table. It looks good. We're playing well. We're in form. Teams around us are dropping points. So you think, yeah, it's all good. But anybody that's supported Sunderland, even for one season, generally knows you should never get carried away because all it takes is something like if White could get injured in training. Something simple like that could. I don't want to. I'm touching wood here because I don't want to say that happen. But anything, McGeady, like a big player coming out, or it can affect the whole team. It can affect the performances. and then you can just start playing really bad again, which we all know we're capable of playing bad. But at the same time, you've got to be optimistic. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just going to be miserable all your life. I think we're playing well enough to be optimistic. If we win at Wembley, it will give us another confidence boost. And I think as long as the team stay fit, I think we should be aiming for at least second, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know a lot of people would. I can't remember who put it on Twitter today, but it was lose at Wembley and finish first, or win at Wembley and
I think it was Michael.
It was
second. What would you guys take for that? Because I put win tomorrow and become second.
Yeah,
I put the same.
It's got to be. I mean, that was actually Michael and Thean. They did a YouTube live stream last night. I watched some of it. I was actually watching it when that question was asked, and Michael said it was a really good question, and it is a good question. But I think if you think about it logically, why would you not want to win the cup? I mean, either way, you're going to get promoted, going off them two options. So you might as well. I mean, promotion is the main goal. So as long as you're getting that, we're not going to have the open top bus. And to be honest with you, it's a big achievement getting promoted to the Championship, but we're not going to be like, it's not like getting promoted to the Premiership, is it? It's not the same. We're not going to we can't do anything anyway. So for me, it's a no-brainer. You finish second and win the cup. Even if it's a tin pot cup, it's a trophy, and we're at Wembley, and we could break that hoodoo that we've had for so many years.
Yeah. Alyssa, what do you think on that one?
I think definitely. I think I would take the second and winning. At the end of the day, we're going to get promoted either way, and the cup, anyway, is only going to give us a boost. I think to push on. The only concern I do have is if we end up losing, and I think that could really affect our momentum and our form. You can see last time when we played Portsmouth in the checker trade, we just seemed to absolutely lose it and crumble after we lost that. So I think the lads need to keep morale going. Hopefully we don't lose. I mean, it's probably the best chance we have at winning at Wembley. But if we do lose, the momentum needs to keep going, and we can't drop our heads. We just need to focus on the league and keep going, because really, I really do hope we get promoted this season, because we've been in this league for too long.
Yeah, 100%. Before we go to Carl, George is in the chat. You're right, George. Congrats on winning the
Hello, mate.
Supporter of the month. You did actually deserve that, mate. The loyalty seen on you, it's brilliant. Carl, moving on to you.
Which one would I take? I'll definitely take breaking 48 years of hurt and finishing second. Guaranteed. I would take that in a heartbeat. But just like what Alyssa said, like Paul said, if we lose, then that's going to be the downfall. If White gets injured, touch wood, he doesn't. It's all these variables to go out there. So for me, it's got to be win the trophy tomorrow, aim for second, and get out this wretched division.
Yeah, 100%. We'll move on to the next thing. Obviously, it's not based Sunderland, but where do you think Portsmouth went wrong today? Because, as what Alyssa said, we played them in the checker trade last year or 2 years ago, and they were just on fire, and they dominated. Were like everywhere. Like, where do you think they've went wrong today? Paul, so with you on that one.
I watched most of the game today. I don't know. They just. I think it must be a confidence thing. I know the fans. A lot of the fans aren't happy with the manager, and I'm wondering whether it's filtered through the dressing room, because even when they're getting in good positions and good chances, they're not taking it. For them to be getting in that many chances, because they did get quite a lot of chances over the whole 120 minutes. They just weren't taking them. I know against us, they didn't have a single shot on target. So there's something wrong within the team. I don't know exactly. I think only they really know why they're not playing so well. Personally, if I was to take a guess, I think they're just not happy with the manager. And when the players are not happy with the manager, that's what happens. We know all about that. I'm sure our players have done it before. So they need to to sort that out. If it was me, I'd be calling for a new manager personally.
Yeah, I know that they did back the manager. Alyssa, what do you think on that? Do you think they should have got rid of him, or do you think they should have stuck?
Well, I know the fans, especially, they've been calling for Kenny Jack to go for quite a long time, I think. But if you look at the Wembley game, they came in with not a great run of form, and maybe they underestimated Salford a bit. I mean, being in League Two, I mean, it might have been easy for them to do that. And as Paul was saying, confidence issues, like they missed 2 penalties, which is massive. And but should they have sacked the manager? I'm not too sure. I'm not really, like, I hate Portsmouth, but I don't really look up on them that much. I probably need to look at the results a bit more. But I think if the fans, especially, have been calling for his head for a long time, I think maybe that's an indicator of he maybe should have gone. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, I know when we played them at the start of the season, you've seen players like Curtis, Harness, and that Marcus up top.
Marcus.
And they're not playing that now. They're just putting Marcus up top, and we've seen it against us last week. He was just diving all over the place to get penalties.
And then they had Curtis and Harness on the bench, didn't they? And I was looking up, and they have the best assists out of, like, I think it's Harness has the most, or Curtis has the second, or they're both equal or something. But they're the most assisted players in the squad, and I just wondered, unless maybe they were saving them for the final. I'm not too sure. But why weren't they on the pitch when they're obviously quite a significant part of the team?
Yeah. I think don't managers do that a lot though? I think we all look at managers. Phil Parkinson was one of them for me. Like, you think every single fan can see what needs to happen. You know, for example, bringing McGeady back, and they can't see it. The amount of times it happens, even with substitutes, you think, come on, get some fresh legs on or whatever. I mean, thankfully, Lee Johnson seems to be doing what most of us expect, but some of the managers, and I think he's doing the same at Portsmouth. They're just like, you think, what the hell? Everybody can see it apart from the manager. So there you go. Yeah.
Obviously, then we're playing against us, and you've seen that scoreline. It was 3-1, and they just dominated winning that game. Carl, do you think they should have played all 3 of them from the start, or do you think they were keeping them out for the final?
Pretty much keeping them for the final. Kenny Jackett had a plan. Field a makeshift team with a few strong players, but keep the key players fresh and rested for today. And it's completely backfired on Kenny Jackett. That's his 6th loss in 8 games now. There's no confidence. Excuse me. There's no confidence with Portsmouth. He's pretty much lost the dressing room. So for Portsmouth to try and recover from this, it's either sack Kenny Jackett and bring someone else in, or stay what you got and probably keep losing the dressing room, because that's what's going to happen.
I mean, we're seeing that with Bristol Rovers as well. That's a perfect example for what's happening here. The Saturday manager brought in Joey Barton, and look at Bristol now. They're absolutely on fire with games.
Yeah. I just want to say about that, actually. So I hope you don't mind putting in. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, you don't want him. You don't want him. He's a." Well, I'm not going to say the words, but a lot of people have got some kind things to say about him for obvious reasons, and I've said them myself. But as a manager, you can't really knock him. He had Fleetwood playing really well, I thought. Regardless of what you think about him as a person, I'd say, to be polite, I think he's very unprofessional sometimes, especially in his post-match interviews. But he gets the team working hard for him. You know what I mean? They'll run down every ball, and for me, I'd love to see Bristol Rovers do well. You know, we've got Charlie, who comes on, supports all our channels. I watch some of his videos as well, and it's just great to see them doing well. I hope they come right up the table now and catch up.
Yeah. So before, did anyone want to say anything like?
I was going to say as well, he's like a no-nonsense manager as well. He won't take like anything. Like I don't know if you remember, but he sent Jimmy Dunn back to Burnley after I think a few weeks, because he leaked the team sheet or anything. But I think he knows what he wants. He's very confident, and I think it's good discipline for a side. I think it will get Bristol Rovers fired up the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Before we get into the next one, George has put, I would rather get promoted to the championship as it will give the lads a boost, but you would also prefer a win tomorrow at Wembley. Come on, lads.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can get both. We can get both, George. Come on.
We're aiming for both.
Get, you know, if you get both, it's, oh God, Sunderland's just going to go up in flames as soon as the season's back on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Right, so we'll start with tomorrow. First off, who is actually confident? Because we can't take it lightly for who the opponent is.
1,000,000% confident. Like I was with Pompey, like I am tomorrow. 1,000,000% confident.
I mean, I'm confident. Unless I know you are because you've seen it all over Twitter.
Yeah. I think the only thing maybe that could, like, obviously we've got Sanderson out because he's cup tied Winchester, but then we've got Flanagan and McLaughlin coming back. So hopefully we can just make do with what we've got. I think it's a game we should be winning realistically. Tranmere are doing well, the fourth in League Two. But again, it's a game we should be winning, and I'm pretty confident that hopefully we will win it, and I'll see Sunderland lift something for like the first time, which would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on this earth for almost 20 years now, and I haven't seen nothing yet. So, Paul, how about you?
Oh, God. When you ask any Sunderland fan that's been around for any decent length of time, asking them if they feel confident is a horrible question to ask, because even if you are, you just don't want to see it. You don't like.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that I'm feeling confident because it feels like if I do, Sunderland's going to kick us in the bollocks or something. You know, it's like, you know what I mean? I just, it's happened too many times. I feel too confident, and they just shoot us down. So, yes, I'm optimistic. Put it that way. I think this has got to be our best chance of winning a game at Wembley Stadium since 1973. I can't see it getting any easier chances ahead. So, yeah, I'm optimistic, mate. I'm not 100% confident. I don't think you ever can be, especially 1,000,000%. God, Jesus.
What? Just look at what we've done this season, Paul. Portsmouth, 24 years, we smashed that one. The bogey teams, we smashed them.
Yeah.
48 years, we're going to smash that one. That's how confident I am.
Yeah, well, no, I'm glad. I'm not saying it's bad to be confident. Honestly, I'm not. It's just scary for me to say that I am really confident, but I am optimistic, and I think I've got a feeling it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. I think Tranmere is doing well, a decent team, and I think they will get chances. They will test us. They might even get a goal, especially as Alyssa said there. We haven't got Sanderson, who will be a big miss. He's been playing really well for us. But we have got, like she mentioned, we have got replacements that can come in and do the job. If everybody comes out, and if we don't underestimate Tranmere, don't be too cocky and things like that, and if we play how we know we can play, then yes, we should definitely win. But we'll have to wait and see which Sunderland team come out, because even though they've been consistent the last 5 or 6 games, like I said earlier, that can change it on a spin of a hat. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Before I move on to the next thing, AJ puts hello, lads and lasses. You're
hello, mate. All right, mate. He gets him sell around, doesn't he?
And also one more thing before we do it. Paul, what are you wearing? Because that is looking great.
Oh yeah, it came. Was it today or yesterday? I can't remember. This is the Fans React hoodie that I bought. Love it. Quality is amazing. Now people saying, "Oh, you're trying to make money," but I couldn't care less if nobody ever buys one. We originally set it up so that we could buy them, so the team members could buy them if they wanted to wear them. So if we never made a single sale, I couldn't care less. But if you do want to, that we have got merch, a little merch store now. Yeah, it might be a bit expensive for some people. That's fine. You don't have to buy anything. We're not forcing you. We're not going to kick your kids out on the street unless you buy something. Nothing like that's going to happen. You really don't have to stress. But yeah, it's really good quality stuff, and it looks good as well. So if you do want it, it's there.
I know that Carl also bought a mug cup as well.
Yeah.
For his streams.
Yeah.
So
Currently in the dishwasher.
Oh, you have to let us know how it goes. Hopefully, it doesn't fade too quick because some of them are not. Some of these personalized things are meant to be hand washed, aren't they? But we'll see. Hopefully, that'll be fine.
If anyone does want to get them, the link will be in the description as well. Go on, Cole.
Don't worry, Paul. I'll be using me Fans React mug from the Fans React store tomorrow during the game against Tranmere.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what else I was going to say as well. What time does it start, Paul? I think it's 12 o'clock. The stream is.
Yeah. We've got one long stream starting at 12, and it'll probably go on to approximately 7 p.m. So instead of making 3 separate streams, this was Matthew's idea, and I think it's a really good idea. It's just to have one long one, and then Sean can come on when he wants, leaves when he wants, and then like the last third of it, we just get all you guys, the team members, come on, give their reactions to the games. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a long one, but hopefully it's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is also a quiz for this shirt. It is the Pat John's Trophy final shirt. If you want to take part in that, head over to the channel at 12:30, I do believe. For the quiz.
Yeah, the stream starts at 12, but the quiz doesn't start till 12:30. Matthew's done 50 questions, and obviously whoever's the winner of that gets the shirt, which is worth about 50 quid. So it's like £1 a question, isn't it? Really? So it's a good for doing nothing. I mean, you don't have to sign up to anything. It's just I think it's done on Kahoot, isn't it? So it should be good.
Yeah,
be good.
So if you do want to do that, go to their channel. Links in the description as well. So moving on to the changes for tomorrow. I have heard that a lot of the young players are travelling down as well. I know that Young has going down, Kim York has going down. I'm pretty sure Neil's going down, and someone else is going down as well. With Sanderson out, obviously that's going to leave space for, I think it's Flanagan. But the main concern is, how do you think Ledbetter's going to play if he's going to play him? Carl, we'll go to you first.
It's got to be complete bubble wrap around Grant Ledbetter tonight and all day tomorrow. Will he start the game? I highly doubt it. It's got to be absolutely physical from the first minute. But I will see Grant Ledbetter. I can actually see him coming on second half as a sub, like 25 minutes left, and contributing into the game. And hopefully the shoulder's good and he can help us get that trophy. So Grant Ledbetter, my reaction will be second half, 25 minutes left.
You all right, Sean?
All right.
Hello, mate.
All right.
Oh, there's the legend.
I was going to say all right, lads, but all right, lads and lasses.
Oh,
yeah. So Sean, we'll just go to you next since you've just joined. How do you think Ledbetter is going to play tomorrow if he either starts or comes on from the bench?
What do you mean? What do you think? Do you think he'll start, or if he plays?
Just if he plays, and how will he perform?
Well, obviously, I'm hoping he'll play. Obviously, we've lost Winchester. He's cup tied as Sanderson and Vokins. Them three's cup tied. Ledbetter is obviously he's been the best midfielder this season, hasn't he? To be honest, I think he's been brilliant. He's rolled back the years, and I think tomorrow on that pitch, a flat surface, great to play football on the Wembley pitch. It's great for a midfielder like Grant Ledbetter, and I firmly believe if he plays tomorrow, which I'm hoping he will do, he's going to play for the PM barrier. I think it's only a plus for the team, and it'll suit him down to the ground because he's a great passer of the ball. And the size of the pitch as well, it'll suit that guy to the ground, and he'll rise to the occasion. He's Mr. Reliable, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Alyssa, we'll go to you next.
I don't think he'll start the game. I know Lee Johnson was saying he'd be confident playing him, However, I'm sure Luke O'Nien had something very similar, but he was out for longer, so I'm sure it just must have been a bit more severe. But I think Grant would have told Lee Johnson that he wants to play. I don't know if you've seen the programme, but he said if he didn't succeed with Sunderland, he'd regret it for the rest of his life. So I think he'll end up coming on. I don't think he'll start, but I think he needs to come on. I think it'd be great. How great would it be if he scored like a last-minute winner? He got the penalty for us to get through to the finals, and how good would it be if he got the winner and he'd lift the trophy? Oh, it would be class. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I think everyone would love to see that with him being a Sunderland supporter from a young boy as well. Would be great if he could lift the trophy. I don't know if he'll be able to, but yeah. Before we go to Paul, Jamsani is in the chat. You all right, mate?
Hello, mate.
Great YouTuber as well. Make sure to go and subscribe to him. Paul, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, he's a valuable member of the midfield. I think he can slow the game down. I've noticed that Alyssa and Carl, I can't remember if Sean said it, but saying that they don't think he'll start, but he might come on maybe in the second half or whatever. I would personally like to see him start, and if need be, come off for the second half. I think the first half's going to be where the game needs to be a bit more controlled, slow down at times, because they're going to be at us. It's a big game, I suppose, for us, but for them, it's an even bigger game. They're going to be wanting to win this really badly. To beat us at Wembley would be fantastic achievement for them. So I think they're going to be right at us, and I think he's the man that'll calm things down if need be. And he's got that pass. If you want to pick it through and pick up the pace, he can do that as well. I'm not saying he's going to be the one running down there, but he's got the capability of passing out wide to the wingers, getting the ball in. So I personally would start him and see how he is after 50, 55 minutes, and then change it over after that. But yeah, he's always. He's not always good. He does give the ball away sometimes. He gets a bit frustrated. But overall, this season, he is our best midfielder, in my opinion. So yeah, start the lad, start him.
Yeah. I know that obviously we can't just walk into it thinking it's an easy game. Obviously we've seen Salford today. Yeah, it was penalties, but I mean they held up a great shift for 120 minutes. And I'm pretty sure they are League Two side as well. So, to say young, well not young, but no, I don't like to say worse teams, but lower league teams from us playing well is great, because then we've got their chance to go up as well. So I do think it will be a difficult game. And moving on to the Sanderson situation, because obviously he's cup tied as well. Would you play Oliver Younger or would you play Tom Flanagan, because he just came back? Carl, will go with you.
Flanagan. Shadow of doubt, Tom Flanagan for me. Put him on.
Ball?
Yeah, I agree. He's a bit more experienced. It's one of them games where a lot of the players will be feeling a bit of pressure. Yeah, not as much as if the fans were there, but it's a big game for them. Any game at Wembley is a big game. They're going to feel it. So yeah, I would start with somebody with a bit more experience, and Flanagan's got that. I'm not taking anything away from Younger, because when he's been playing, he's looked good. He's looked solid, and I'm sure he's got a big future ahead of him. But definitely Flanagan for me to start.
Yeah, Alyssa?
Yeah, I wrote my team down and I put Flanagan. I think as Paul was saying, a lot more experience. I think he might be able to keep more of a cool head. As we've seen, Younger's been good, but he might get a bit nervous in the moment just with it being at Wembley. I know nobody's there, but it's still a massive game for us. So I put Flanagan just because I think he'll be a bit more solid and be able to keep a level head, I think.
Yeah. Sean, what about you, mate?
I'd say Flanagan for me. I think Younger's he looks like a decent defender. When I started the other day, and he didn't do too bad. I think he looked a little bit nervous, to tell you the truth. And I think what we need in this game tomorrow is cool heads, and I think that's what Flanagan will bring. So I think, I'll go with Flanagan. Yeah, he's just his experience. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, moving on to what Alyssa's just said when she said she's wrote her team down. I guess we'll start with Alyssa for that one. Your starting 11, what would you play for tomorrow and what formation?
I've gone for 4-4-2. I've put obviously Burge in goal, and then I've got McLaughlin, Flanagan, O'Nien, and McFadzean. And then I don't know about Jordan Jones. Is he still a doubt? I'm not
50.
I'm not too sure.
50-50, I think. Tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've gone Gooch, Scowen, and Power in the middle, and McGeady, or maybe if Lee Johnson didn't want to start McLaughlin, you could move Power to right back and maybe put Ledbetter in the middle. And then I've gone with Wyke and Maguire up front because Aidan O'Brien was saying he needed a last-minute fitness test, so I didn't know if he'd start, so that's why I've put Maguire up front as well. So
yeah, Sean, who would you play in what formation? Because I know there's been quite a few this season.
I was actually talking to Michael Bowers today. I done me, Michael, and Dave Lawrence done a video just a preview for the match tomorrow, and went with 4-2-3-1. Was Lee Burge in goal, Max Power right back, Flanagan, O'Nien, McFadzean, Ledbetter, Scowen in the middle. So that's your four in defence. Ledbetter and Scowen is your two sitting. The three across the middle. I would go with obviously McGeady on the left, Jordan Jones if he's fit. If not, and then I would go with Lyndon Gooch. And he's not. He divides the fans' opinions. Aidan O'Brien, but I think I'll probably go with Aidan O'Brien through the middle, and obviously Charlie Wyke's. He's absolutely 100%. He's going to play as long as he's fit. So that would be my team. It's just a couple of doubts with Jordan Jones if he's fit. Who's going to play in the middle? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that would be my team. Yeah.
Carl, formation and players.
Pretty much the same as Alyssa. What I wrote down when I was at work. Just looking at fitness and everything else. I think Jordan Jones will be able to pass the fitness test. So I've got my fingers crossed for that. But formation-wise, may have to be a 4-3-3 formation, but more of a diamond back formation. So we've got more in defence, but at the same time, push up for a counter attack as well. So that's what I'll be going for tomorrow. Will be a 4-3-3 diamond back position. Jordan Jones, fingers crossed, starting. Grant Ledbetter, obviously the new crown prince Charlie Wyke, straight up the front with McGeady, Burge in goal. Don't put Remy Matthews on, please.
Oh God, don't.
God help us. Lee Johnson, if you're watching, do not put Remy Matthews on, please. But yeah, that's what I'll be going for anyway.
Paul, what about you?
Right, well, the way we played against Portsmouth was great. I was impressed with that, so I would try and keep it as similar to that as you can. I know we've got some forced changes. Now, I don't know if this is 100% accurate or not, but on Google, it's saying that against Portsmouth, we did like a 4-2-2-2 formation.
No.
Which doesn't make a great deal of sense. But anyway, what I would do is exactly what I think Alyssa and Sean said. I'd swap O'Brien for Maguire. I'd play Jones, unless if he's not fit, then I'd swap him for Gooch. And the only other change, obviously, is Winchester can't play, so Grant Ledbetter in that position. And instead of Sanderson, it would have to be Flanagan. So pretty much the same as everybody else. To be honest with you, it's what you don't change it too much when it's working well, and it was working well. So minimal changes. I know, like I said, these are forced ones on us, so we have to do it. But yeah, there's no reason with that team, with the backup we've got, we can't kick on with this one. Should be good.
Yeah. AJ says Diamond or Gooch on the wing, Jones out.
Yeah, see, that's another one. Diamond to keep. I forget him because we haven't played him that much recently, but he's a brilliant player to bring on. But I still think Gooch is slightly a bit. I put Gooch slightly ahead of him.
Yeah, going with something what Carl's just said there, obviously with it being a final in a cup game, I know it's probably not going to happen, but what would your guys' reactions be if somehow randomly we're seeing Matthews in goal? Like, what would your initial reaction be to that? Carl?
Terrified.
Oh, God.
I'd rather have Luke O'Nien in goal before Remy Matthews. Just can't catch a ball.
Yeah, Luke O'Nien would probably smash it as well, wouldn't he? He'd kill it in goal. I reckon he could do anything. He really could.
Speaking about the players as well, obviously most of our squad or all of our squad's going to be out with contract at the end of the season. I know I've seen Alyssa's tweet about she'll cry if O'Nien leaves.
Yeah.
Who would you keep and who would you stay? We'll start with Alyssa.
Why, obviously O'Nien, but I know I don't think they started the contract talks, but there was rumours about a long-term contract.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Burge,
thank you. Denver Hume, I think definitely need to keep. Aidan McGeady as well. I know he's getting older, but again, lots of experience and he's been great for us. Who else? Jordan Willis, but he's getting a new contract regardless. I think Lee Johnson was seeing a fitness. And obviously Charlie White. But again, that might change depending on what league we play in next season.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sean, we'll go to you.
Pardon, you put the list back up.
Yeah.
Lee Burge, Skip, Jack Diamond. I would probably just give him another contract. Denver Hume, yeah. Ledbetter's obviously, it's probably his last season. Chris Maguire, no. Callum McFadden, no. Ian McGiddy, possibly another year. Conor McLaughlin, yeah. Luke O'Nien, 100%. Max Power, no. Josh Gowan, yes. Jordan Willis, absolutely. Charlie White, yeah.
I know that. I think it was. I'm trying to think what player it was. Paul, can you put?
Yeah.
God, I'm forgetting the players' names. Yeah. I know that Aidan McGeady said that he had unfinished business in the championship, so I wonder if we do go up, do you think he'd leave the club and go somewhere else, or do you think he'll stay at the club and do that unfinished business? Carl, we'll go to you for who you would keep.
Lee Burge, definitely Lee Burge. It's all right, Paul. I wrote down one.
All right, fine. I was trying to help.
I wrote them down, mate. I wrote them down. Lee Burge, definitely. Jack Diamond, Grant Ledbetter. He deserves to play in the championship. Aidan McGeady, definitely has unfinished business in the championship, so we need to keep him. Luke O'Nien, he definitely deserves an extension. Charlie White, got to give him a 3-year extension. Come on. Josh Gowan as well. Get him signed. Definitely will not have Denver Hume or even McFadden. McFadden hasn't done much for me this season.
I mean, he played well against Portsmouth, in my opinion. Paul,
he did do well, but one game doesn't change anything.
Yeah, true.
He needs to have a good performance in my book all season, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
Paul?
I'll go through them quickly. Lee Burge, I think, unless we get 2 amazing keepers in, then I think we have to keep him, get him a contract. Obviously, as Alyssa said as well, it depends on whether they're going to get promoted. If we're in this league still, then it totally changes this. Do you know what I mean? Some players will be good enough. But I'm just going to off the assumption that we're going to get promoted. Jack Diamond, definitely. I think he's one that for the future. He's getting better all the time. His final product needs to work on a little bit. Final ball in. Sometimes he's a bit like Gooch, where he just runs into nothing. Could do with something. But I'd keep him. Oh, Danny Graham. I'm gutted he's gone. Flipping heck. Denver Hume. Now, I'm surprised Carl said he would let Denver Hume go. I thought, until he was injured, I know not every game was good, but I thought he was one of our most attacking-minded players at the time. Yeah, once again, his final ball wasn't always great, but I would keep him. Grant Ledbetter, as Sean said, I think it's probably his last one. I definitely don't think he'd be able to do much in the Championship anyway. Chris Maguire, I really like him. I know Sean said no, but he's one of them players that, he's had a few bad games recently, but he's a bit like Ian McGeady in the sense he can just find that magic moment from nothing sometimes. His crosses into the box are sometimes fantastic, or set pieces, free kicks and things like that. He's a very valuable player, and yeah, I would keep him. McFadden, recently he's played okay. The last game against Portsmouth, I thought he actually had a good game, but there's been far too many games where I've said not good enough, so I'll stick with that. Aidan McGeady, he could still easily do it. I don't care what anybody says in the Championship. He scares any defence. I think he would scare defences in the Premiership, to be honest with you. Conor McLaughlin, he's another one. Like, there's times when I've thought rubbish. Like, I know before this season started, I was like, oh God, don't rate him one bit. But he's had some really, really good performances. So yeah, I'd be tempted to keep him. Luke O'Nien, that's the most obvious one out of all of them. He should definitely stay. Max Power, another tricky one. He's had good games, bad games. Seems to play better at right back. So I'd keep him only if we can't get a decent replacement. But yeah, there is room for him to go. Josh Scowen, another one, hit and miss for me. He's a bit like Marmite, him. People either love him or they hate him. And I'm not a big lover, even though he does have some decent games. So I'd potentially let him go. Jordan Willis, I think if he can stay fit, I'd love to keep him for the Championship. I think he could do a job, but he has to be able to stay fit. And Charlie Wyke, now another one, he's turning into a Sunderland legend, isn't he? So if he can score 20 odd, even possibly 30 goals this season, then there would be a lot of Championship clubs that would have him. So yeah, I'd take him up, especially if we keep McGeady. The two of them seem to be linking up well. So yeah, that's what I would do. I know it's a bit long-winded there, but yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that actually brings us on to the next thing. But before that, Jamsoni's put Luke O'Nien is a keeper. We all know Jamson, he loves a bit of Luke O'Nien. I think everyone does. I mean, I swear I see it in every video. Just O'Nien gets praised. I mean, we can't blame him for getting the praise because he's just one of those players, though, isn't he? He's got
Jamsoni's got a framed photograph of him, hasn't he? I think in his next to his computer. So
yeah, I think it was under his desk when he done his setup tour. I think. Yeah. Acacia's in as well. Evening, lads, and Alyssa. So sorry I'm late. It's fine. So that brings on to the next thing. Do you think clubs will come in, try and swoop up Wyke, if we do manage to bottle it? Obviously, I'm not saying we won't because we're looking very promising at the minute. But do you think after the performance you give this season, loads of clubs will go in? Carl, we'll go to you.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever gets relegated from the Premier League is going to be looking for someone with a good scoring record for this season. So Charlie Wyke is hot property at the minute. Everybody will probably want to get that bid in as soon as possible. But if we can actually tie him to a 3-year deal, then we've pretty much got him in the bag. So yeah, Charlie Wyke's hot property. Everybody's looking at him, and fingers crossed, touch wood, he does not leave the Stadium of Light.
Paul, what about you?
Yeah, if we don't get promoted, I think we'll struggle to keep hold of them. We have to stop messing about with people's contracts, sort it out quicker, and pay them what they deserve to be paid. Because far too often we're sorry, I'm trying not to swear. We mess around.
Oh, you're sweet.
All right. We just fanny around, and you're like, just get it sorted, especially if they're doing so well for us. So yeah, if we don't get promoted, we're in trouble with Wyke, I think. I don't think any players these days don't have real loyalty to clubs. It's like I think even O'Nien, if we didn't get promoted. I know he's a lovely lad. He loves the club and stuff. But if a bigger club comes in with more money, it's a short career. These players are going to go. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to stick around for Sunderland, who can't be bothered to get out of League One. Even if we are back in the grounds and there's loads of fans there cheering on, it's not enough for players. They're not going to get paid when they're my age. You know what I mean? So we'll have to be careful.
Alyssa, what about you?
Yeah, I think definitely people will be after him. I mean, people are just mentioning him left, right, and centre, like everywhere on Twitter, like loads of football accounts and everything. But as Paul was saying, I think money's a big factor, and I think he could get money elsewhere. If you kind of look at a player like McGeady, you think he's coming to the end of his career. Probably know the club's going to offer him the amount of money we're offering him, whereas Wyke still has a few years left, and he's proven to do really well in this league. And maybe being like a local lad might sway him to stay a bit, but obviously if he's getting more money elsewhere, if he's playing in a higher league, he's going to want to go. And I don't know if Stuart Donald did this, but I know he put a year trigger in Luke O'Nine's contract, which made him out of contract this season instead of last one. But I don't know if he did that to Charlie Wyke. I'm not too sure. So,
Sean?
Well, I don't think he's on a massive wage. I think obviously if we get promoted, get the championship, I think you've got to be brutal. And I said this last night. I think Charlie Wyke's a good striker in this division. He's proved that this season. I think he's a decent, he's a good striker. Championship is it's a different kettle of fish in a championship. I mean, if you could bring in Jermaine Defoe, in the championship next season and let Charlie Wyke go, I know exactly what I would do. I wouldn't even be a thought. Charlie's done great this season. If we get promoted, absolutely fantastic. But I would give him a contract. But if we're in the championship, to be your main man, I think you got to get somebody a bit more prolific and a bit more. And again, could he do it in the championship? I mean, on a regular basis, I mean, that's a big step up. It's a massive step up. I think championship. I think you need a better striker. I would still keep him as a rotation striker if somebody's injured or this, that, and the other. But if you're going to the championship, the size of Sunderland Football Club, you need a more prolific and you need a better striker for me. Yes, Charlie's done great this season, but I'll still give him a contract. But you're gonna need somebody better if you get promoted.
Sean, do you not think? See, which is going to look likely. He's going to be the top goal scorer in League One, probably by quite a big margin as well. I would think. That has got to be the next step up. He's got to be like at least for a newly promoted team like us to the Championship. He's probably, it's got to be his next move, really. I mean, yeah. I know what you're saying about if we had Jimmy and Defoe, but I think because he's tall, he can work with his head. Maybe them two would work really well together as well. So I don't know. I'm maybe just thinking you're being a little bit hypocritical of him here. I don't know. I think he's done that well with not a very good team, really. I think that is probably his natural progression would be to go to the Championship next season.
Well, I mean, I would give him I suppose you could give him a shot at it, but I just think if you want to be, you've got to be brutal. I think it's all about levels and this, that, and the other. I just think if there was a chance that we could get Defoe and Kiefer Moore, somebody like that. I mean, Charlie Wyke's done great in the games wrong. I mean, what's saying he couldn't do well in the Championship? And he's looked great this season, but it's a massive step up for me. And I'll still keep him. But I think if you want to push on in the Championship and try and get the playoffs, trying to get the promotion places, I think it's a big step up. Hopefully he could do it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he could.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I'd probably keep him and have him on the bench as like a backup one. But if we would try and get Defoe in because he's on free after this year, I'd happily take him back because he's still fit even for his age. He's like, is he like 38 now or something?
Yeah. He's a beast, man. He would kick butt in the Championship. He really would.
Absolutely.
I mean, like if you watch like the Rangers clips for like goals and stuff, he's still got the pace on him. Yeah, it's not as fast as how he was when he was with us the last time, but he's still. I think apart from like Kent or is it Tavernier, the right back?
Yeah.
You know, I think he's on clash with Kent's pace, and he's still faster.
Well, even if you take his pace away completely, he's still got enough in him to make him worth having in the championship. You know what I mean? Even with no pace. So like,
he's just got an eye for goal.
Exactly.
Defoe one chance you score, and that's in the championship as well. You supply him with the chances, give him the service, and he get you the goals. Absolutely get you the goals. Defoe he's had a good career and he's looked after himself. He's not one of these footballers who's been out drinking, nightclubbing like your Jack Wilsheres and your Jack Grealishes and all these players who's done things during the lockdown. He's just the ultimate professional. He's concentrating on his football, his fitness, and above all, what's he great at? Finishing. He's a natural born finisher. And then if we can somehow get him, and if we get promoted, fingers crossed. I'd love to see him come back. I think it'd be an absolutely fairy tale ending, and Defoe to shoot us back to the Premier League.
Yeah. Going back onto the players, for the loan players like Jordan Jones or Sanderson, would you out of all of the loan players that we've actually got, who would you decide to keep? I know for me, it's definitely Jones and Sanderson.
Yeah, I think I'll be surprised if anybody in here would disagree with that. Jones and Sanderson have been. I know Jones hasn't played a lot really, but when he has played, he's looked fantastic, hasn't he? That goal against Portsmouth, you can't score goals like that with a bit of luck. He's naturally got some skill.
For that.
Yeah, he's got some talent there. And Sanderson, I've said he should have been starting more games sooner for me, because there's little times when he did have little bit parts. He was coming on, he looked good, and then he wouldn't start again the next game. So both of them for me, definitely. I can't think of who else we've got, but for them,
Wilkins.
Yeah, he hasn't done a lot. Yeah, once again, he's another one. He hasn't had that many chances, but you don't get many chances.
The thing I say about Votens is McFadden is keeping Votens out, and we're not all enough fans of McFadden. So if he's keeping Votens out, what does that say about Votens?
Yeah, definitely.
Unless I will go to you on that, would you keep them?
Definitely. I know Jordan Jones, I think it was going around Twitter, Rangers were wanting 600k, but I think that, I would probably even pay a bit more for him. I think at the minute in our team, has pace, which is something we've been lacking forever. I mean, he even broke a linesman the other week, you know what I mean? He was that quick. But to be fair, the linesman did look about 60. So, and then Dion Sanderson, I think we forget how young he is sometimes. What is he? He's 21. And he just looks so experienced. You can tell he's head and shoulders above some of the other people in this league. And he'd be a really valuable asset, I think, to our team. Even in the Championship, even in the Premier League. I'm convinced one day he'll play in the Premier League, but it's if Wolves would want to sell him and how much for, really.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've got KLD and we've got money, but it depends if Wolves will want to hang on to him, because I could see them using him for the first team in a couple of years or so, definitely.
Yeah, Carl?
2 seconds.
Oh, is his little niece coming again?
It's probably so he doesn't freeze again.
Yeah.
Right, where was I? Oh yeah, definitely Sanderson, definitely Jones. Would I pay 600k for him? For Jones, no. 1.2 million I'll pay for Jones to get him out of Rangers. Dion Sanderson been absolutely fantastic. If Wolves says pay us 2.5 million for Dion Sanderson, KLD, do not hesitate to break that checkbook out and get that check written out. Get them both in. Get rid of Vokins, because Vokins ain't gonna get extended. Done deal. Sanderson in. Jordan Jones in. What more? What more to say about that?
I thought you were saying Duncan Watmore.
No.
Drunken Duncan.
So on the topic of Sanderson and how much would pay, we'll start with Carl again. How much would you pay for Sanderson? Because I know that Wolves are doing somewhat decent at the minute. Personally, I do think they would need another defender. But if they were allowed to let him go, how much would you pay?
Definitely anywhere between the region of £2.5 to £3 million.
Yeah, Paul.
Well, if you're asking what I would pay very little because I don't have a lot of money. But if you're asking what I would pay if I was KLD, I don't know. I'm not very good at valuing players, to be honest with you. I haven't got the experience to know what players are really worth. But I think I would pay at least $1.5 million, maybe. That's just a figure out the top of my head. But like I say, I'm no expert when it comes to what players are worth. I don't know if anybody is really.
Yeah, I know a lot of people on Twitter was saying that they would pay up to about $6 million.
$6 million?
For Sanderson. I know a few people's put up the pay up to $6 million.
Wow.
I don't know whether they've took something before they've put that tweet out or they're just insane. But yeah. Alyssa, how much would you pay?
I know loads of people were saying $5 million was probably the upper bracket, depending on how badly I guess they want to keep him. So maybe anywhere between, I would say, 2 to 5, but 5 is still, I think, quite extortionate. But they were saying that was the upper end of the bracket. It depends. But they were saying, was he on loan? Was it Cardiff or Swansea? It was a Welsh team, wasn't it?
Cardiff.
And there was I remember reading Wolves offered want to sell him, and it was very low. Like it was like criminally low. I can't remember, but it was less than $1 million. And I'm thinking, surely he's worth more than that. But he still has a year left on his contract. Does he have a year left?
I know he signed a contract for Wolves before he joined us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was about 850, I think, for how much he wanted to pay, or even less. Sean, what about you?
Do you know what? If I was Sunderland, right, I would try and just get forget the championship. I don't think Wolves are going to sell him, so I'll just try and negotiate another loan deal, but like another loan deal with try and sneak a little option to buy in there. But I don't think Wolves will sell. I think they'll probably negotiate another loan out from the season. I think if that's the best we can do, then just do that. Just get him for another season on loan, and see what we can do from them. But if we were to pay a price for him, it's going to be something between 3 and 4 million, I would imagine, 3 or 4 million. But I mean, he looks good. He looks the part. He looks like a really good defender. I think he could step up to the championship, but the championship that I've said earlier on, it's a massive step up, I think, from this division. That's why I think Charlie Wyke, I'm not sure if he could do it in that division. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a rotation striker, but I think as your number one, I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on him there, because he's had a really good season. But I just think it's a massive step up. But I do think that Ian Sanson could make that step when you could argue and say, well, Charlie Wyke could as well, but only time will tell, really. We've got to get promoted first.
Yeah. So before we end, we've got AJ saying, don't think the club will break wage structure. No way Defoe's on less than 25k a week. Don't know what anyone's opinion is on that.
So what was that? Sorry,
it was no way Defoe's on less than 25k a week. So I don't know if that means if he joins us or if that's what he's on at. Does.
If we get promoted, then yeah, that is probably around about what we would have to pay.
Yeah.
For somebody of his caliber, I wouldn't expect anything less. And I think that's if you want to kick on in the championship, that's the sort of thing we need is to be spending. We can't be spending players on $4 or $5 grand a week. Then they're not going to be good enough to cut it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah. We've got Acacia with should definitely bring Jermaine Defoe back so he can score more goals for us in the championship. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a old player we've got, but I think that he's going to be a good player we can try and bring back. So before we end it, has anyone's prediction changed within the last, I'd say, few days for tomorrow's game? No,
It's
3-1.
bad luck. It's bad
Mine's solid 2-1.
Yeah, I think I said 2-0. I can't even remember now. I think
I think you were determined on 2-0 on that one, Paul.
Yeah. Once you get past your 40s, you forget things easily. But I think 2-0. Yeah, that's good enough. I think our defence are good enough to keep a clean sheet, and we are scoring goals. So I'll take more, obviously, but 2-0. I think that's realistic.
Yeah. Acacia says hers is staying the same, and hers was 3-0.
That's what I said. I said 3-0. Like, do you know what? After speaking to Michael that day, I was thinking, you try and get confident and you're optimistic. And I'm thinking, well, our last 5-0 win was against Tranmere. Funny enough, if we get an early goal, just calm everybody down. And I think we could get a second and third, and I think it could be no way back for Tranmere then. Someone was saying 5-0 in my head, and I've said 3-0. I'm just maybe still confident. I need to just calm down with the drinks, I think.
Oh God. Well, one positive note: no one did freeze on this stream, so that's somewhat decent. Danny Lloyd, the player to watch out for Tranmere. I don't know who he is. So I don't know if he's decent or not. But anyways, that will be the end of the stream. Thank you for everyone for coming in. Thank you to everyone that's obviously taken part. Everyone's Twitter, YouTube, whatever, will be down in the description, along with the Fans React store. Sean, do you want to tell everyone how much it costs to subscribe, or you might as well say it?
Absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny.
Yeah, definitely. And don't forget, 12 o'clock. It's a long one tomorrow. Long all-day stream with a giveaway, a quiz, all sorts of cool things. Sean's going to be commentating on the game as well. So if you can't watch it or whatever, or if you want to watch it and listen to him, which is what I've done a few times, it's really interesting. It's really good. So yeah, loads happening. Come over to SEFC Fans React. Sorry, kind of get me false teeth in. We've even got Elisa on the team now as well. So things are only getting better.
Yeah, permanent deal. Yep.
Great signing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Also, Alyssa's joined the Black Cat podcast team as well for Monday, so that's absolutely big for us as well. Also, just want to point out, Paul, you're going to have Mr. Positivity with Mr. Red Bull on the match game tomorrow.
Oh, you're on there, are you?
Yeah.
Oh well, I
watched
it last time Jan went on with them. I think Michael was on for Matthew. If he's watching
Michael Lead.
It's gonna Michael Lead and Matthew Bowers. Yeah, I keep getting them wrong. Yeah. It was good. It was a good show. You did really well. So I think people will enjoy that and tune in for that tomorrow. It'd be great.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll watch it if I get bored of Frankie's commentating. I don't know why I've accepted to do that, but yeah. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Everyone's links is down in the description. And yeah, where's Roger? Who there is Roger? Anyone know who Roger is?
I don't know what he's talking about.
No idea.
Roger, over and out.
There you go. Well, anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And yeah, peace out.
Bye.